sure because you're making it sound like it's a strange phenomenon.
Okay,
it is.
It's a big phenomenon, but it's true. I should explain it conventionally. Most shuls,
because when you go to shul, you sit in the same place. I guess by kiddush, you don't sit in the same place.
Well, right.
No, it's
so
not. It's like mingle. From what I've been told. I don't know. I go to shul, for Yom Kippur, for Rosh Hashanah. They important.
The high holidays.
The important stuff. Yeah, me too, basically. Only the important stuff. No, but I had this revelation here, where conventionally what happens is you're in shul, it finishes 11:30, 12, 11, whatever, and people just like run out like a scene from a movie, and they just run to Kiddush club. They run to Kiddush, in back of the shul, maybe in another room or a few rooms, and they just attack the buffet table like behemoths. It's quite grotesque, and it is it's a challenge for many people. Okay, so this shul that I went to, the rabbi actually made Kiddush. No one moved. Then everyone walked to their assigned seats. There was no buffet, and they brought Kiddush out, waiters in bow ties, and everyone started eating like a mensch. And I said, this is it right here. This is where we're going to change American Jewry and even Jewry throughout the world. We must end the buffet Kiddush in shul. It's treating us. How many times have your husbands or boyfriends or friends in shul said, oh, I went and, I literally almost lost my hand trying to get to the carving station, poking for tuna or herring at the cracker station. This is a reality, and I'm going to run on build a platform. We're gonna bring this, carry out this message forward to every Jew we can find. What do you think?
Can we clarify for 1 second? Were you in shul or you were in synagogue? Because I don't think you were in real shul.
Well, what is that?
Accurate. I think he was in synagogue. I don't think he was in shul. Most shuls don't have these stations, as you refer to them. It's
who's waiting patiently? Who's not making Kiddush on their own? Who's not breaking off and having their own Kiddush club? You're in synagogue. You were not in shul.
Very, very, very accurate.
What is the difference there exactly, Rosie? What is the difference between synagogue and shul?
You Heimish or you Jewish? Which one?
Heimish or Jewish? Why is everyone in Muncie called Heimish? Like I think in 5 towns, New York, in lower New York.
Thank God.
Downtown of the Huts, and it's it's like from, I guess I think it's a little different, but Heimish, yeah, that parlance is used as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
you have to also, it's where you pronounce it. Is it Heimish or Hamish? There's 2 different types. If you Hamish, go away. If you Heimish, I know what you're talking about.
I don't say Hamish actually. I don't know Heimish. I just had to get used to the fact that I do have an accent, a dialect, like that. This is how people talk. It's just Hamisha. You could only be you at the end of the day. I think that's something we get used to. But hey, this whole epiphany, this whole thing that happened, right? This is a great this will kind of prelude, but also like drive us right into the topic, which is Brachos and Segulas, right? This could be a Segula here if we change this. All right, fine. Not the strongest segula, but, it's close.
We look up the definition of segula? Because it's not...
We should have a definition of segula. Rosie, what does segula mean to you?
Hold please while I Google that. Oh, to me? Or you want to know what the actual translation is?
What's the actual translation of segula?
That's a good question. The way that I define it is that somebody came up with something a very long time ago, and it worked for one random specific person. And they're like, one time, my cousin ate an apple in 3 bites, and they had a baby 9 months later. So now, if that's the way you do it, you can have a baby. It's basically a lot of made-up crap. Sometimes it's real, though. I'll give you that. Yes. But for the most part, it's crap. Sorry, it's not real.
Taking the more pessimistic view of it. Okay, intriguing. And Hannah, what is a segula?
the actual definition, according to Google here, is a remedy or protection. My take, honestly, is that I think that things have meaning when you put meaning into them. So, for example, I think that a segula can work if you actually put some meaning behind it. Like, for example, if you say, you know what, I'm going to do this good deed as a seuglas or as a merit that X, Y and Z should happen. Then I think that there's some weight to that. But I think to just, sprinkle some, I don't know, sparkles from the Kala's crown that she wore at the wedding, and walk around with sparkles for 10 days straight, and, don't wash your face, it's not going to get you anywhere. There has to be some depth behind it.
So really, you're saying it's a ritual, but you need to have manifest
it?
Yeah, but what's the actual verb of saying that? You have to actually have some meaning behind it.
Right.
It will do something.
I think you have to actually add something to it. Like, light a candle every Motzei Shabbos and then X, Y, and Z will happen. Like, light a candle, but also understand, like, what the meaning behind that is maybe. And, see if there's actions that go along with that, lighting a candle. Like, I don't think a segula in and of itself is the remedy. I think that there's, like, the actions behind the segula that really can help.
Right. So, so well said. Segula, to me, what I understand of it.
Oh, wait, no one asked you. Let's ask you. IJ,
no
what does the segula mean to you?
Thank you,
Great
Rosie.
co-host.
Thank you so much, Rosie. Well, I should explain it if I'm bringing up bringing up this word, bringing up this jargon. Yeah, so basically a segula is something you take on, an action, or could be, prayer, and there's a meaning to doing this repeatedly, whether it's a daily, weekly ritual, and you put some meaning behind it, in a sense, kind of way to either show God or make a deal with God to get something, or to have gotten something that has been able to be attained through the practicing of this specific segula, or this specific vehicle or action to get you to a different place or something. So that's the.
I don't think that has to do anything with God, though. I think you added God in there, and it's different. Because a lot of times you do segulas that a rebbe told you to do, or someone told you to do, or you do it in the name of a specific person. It's never saying, God, I'm doing this, because God said it in a seguladik way. It's either a halacha from God, or it's a segula from somebody else. A human being.
You base Yaakov girls, you gotta get me on everything. You can't just give it and say, "Oh."
Wait, no, but I think that's important.
Great translation. Yes, it's true. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay. Certainly, it's not something that God did, or you're doing for technically, I guess,
but
directly
I'll tell you
for
why
God.
I'm harping on this, because
Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes, for example.
Right, and people give you segulas, and if you don't listen to it, they get so angry. I'm like, it's a segula. It's what you decided. It's not you can leave me alone. Again, it's not halacha. It has nothing to do with you and God. So let's take a breath here.
Oh yeah, I'm extremely parsimonious when it comes to trying out or doing a segula, even pessimistic, and just coming from someone who's done them. Who has done them many times and throughout my years. Now, I don't want to discourage it. It didn't work for me. I don't mean to discourage it from others. I certainly think Sephardic community, Yeshivish community, Ashkenazi community, every different sect in the Jewish community, in the Jewish umbrella, Orthodoxy, they're certainly going to each have their own translation. I'm sure Sephardim are probably tuning off the podcast right now because they want someone to champion and advocate for it, and that's why we brought Chani on. Coach Hannah, what do you say?
I honestly do feel that with all these segulos, though, it's like you can't steal money so that you can give tzedakah. Like you can't just completely bypass all the work that you have to do, or the effort that you have to put in, and just light the candle and say, oh, it's not working because I lit the candle, but I'm not married. Like it has to be a combination. I do think that there is definitely something to segulos. I think it just has to be that combination. But actually, you have a really funny story about segulos. Somebody that I know, before they were married, obviously, they were.
Oh, the segulos is only for people who are not getting married.
No, but I'm saying, right, exactly. Somebody was doing this at a wedding. They had gotten this Slurpee, because, you do that for the Hocus and Segulas. So him and his friend had gotten...
That might be a monthly thing also, by the way.
To do the Slurpee?
Yeah.
I don't know. Remember Simcha Spot and all those things? I always saw people with Slurpees on there.
Okay.
Monthly.
Don't even get me started with Simcha Spot, yo.
Is that even a thing anymore, these things? Simcha Spot. What was before that? Rosie, what was that thing like?
Only Simcha?
Only Simcha, yeah.
That's the only website they allowed you to have in seminary. We had Google, Snapchat, and Only Simcha.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Not Google, sorry, Gmail.
Back in the day. So anyways, they had this Slurpee at the wedding, and they were walking around saying, oh, it's a Segulas Slurpee, the husband in college drink from it, so if you drink from it, then, you're going to get married. And they actually got a date from that. So did it work? Was it a joke?
I don't know. It's mystical. Wait. No. Like.
Exactly.
Ooh. I know from guys really harp on, perseverate on Chomesh. If people don't know what Chomesh is, it's double Meiser. I've heard double Meiser and more, so more than double Meiser. What's Meiser? If you don't know, there's other podcasts out there that are, unmeaningful and will teach you. No, Meiser money, giving 10% of your financial earnings during the year. Some say after expenses, but there's there's this thing that from guys do is Chomesh. They love doing the Chomesh thing, giving double. And I've seen people do it and have been successful. Seen people do it and have not. It's a tough thing financially. Recession going on. Okay, but other things as well. It's a tricky thing, especially I think when you're trying to start your life, as I have advocated before. You're going to try to pay bills, do whatever you can. Certainly, if you're making money and you can afford it, hey, it doesn't hurt at the end of the day. Will it give you? Is this like a segula to get you married, make millions more? I don't know. Become, senator of your shul's board in Arizona,
or the Kiddush Club.
All right. Well, I'm already chairman of the Kiddush Club, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you have to revamp it. No, now that you had this revelation, you have to revamp your Kiddush Club.
I'm certainly gonna try. It's a message I'm gonna carry forward. I'm gonna promulgate this as much as I can. We've got to stop wild, crazy Kiddush in shuls. We have to. It's just teaching people how to be grotesque, uncouth, misbehaved. It's not good. It's not good. I tell you, I know people who are injured. They're injured. They can't be at this podcast, Avery, because he got injured in Kiddush. Kiddush this week. Okay, not Kiddush Club. Kiddush Club is all good. Also, Machers Magazine. I can't really defend both. But anyway, I could go on all day. I'm sure you.
Can you differentiate between Kiddush Club and Kiddush? So Kiddush Club,
Kiddush Club is when you sneak off in the middle of leaning, right?
Yes.
And do you have to be invited to this club?
Yeah, because it's a club.
Sort
and
of.
You could be a loser who's standing on the side, but whatever.
What's wrong with that? I'm kidding.
Nothing.
Is there like a segula that you can get into this club?
Yes, you have. Yeah, there are a few requirements in every like shul. So you have to first of all talk very loud in shul. You have to bash the rabbi when he ain't looking. You have to you have to give a lot to the shul, or like secretly take away money from the shul. Oh my God, Rosie, that was funny. No, that was funny. That was a good one. It was good. See, I'm getting better. You know. Okay. All right. Anathema. That would Avery would say. Okay. So.
Wait, so let's get back on track here for 1 second. So first of all, this podcast is very informative because I never knew this double Meiser thing was a thing, because I thought Meiser was the most you can give. But thank you for informing me of that.
Well, that's what we do. We we
learn about every aspect of Judaism here. Halacha share included.
Yes. A little taste of everything.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm wondering, since we're on this topic of Brachos and Segulas, and you know, does it work? Does it not work? I'm curious what you guys think about Mazal and how that plays into things.
Yeah, how's your Mazal?
Wait, but before we go into Mazal, can we just circle back for 1 second here? Do you think girls believe in Segulas more than boys do?
I think so.
I think I know Sephardim are definitely more into it, right?
Boys and girls equally?
Probably equally. Maybe certainly leaning girls. You know, certainly leaning girls, right? I think so. What about you?
I know girls will try many a crazy things.
They'll try. Yeah, they'll try. I mean, I knew so many girls who would run to the Rebbe's caver out in Queens, right, to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, okay, the Rebbe. They would run Motzei Shabbos every week, daven there, daven, you know, say Tehillim for hours. They would do this for hours. They would go into the night, into the morning.
You talking about non-Lubavitch people?
Non-Lubavitch, yeah, non-Lubavitch. And they would daven, and like, you know, people, so, you know, I don't, there are people who've gotten nowhere from that, or at least, you know, from the outside. I don't want to discredit or obviously like that, but then there were, you know, I saw people who did get married. Now, I don't know, again, I don't know from that. I mean, I believe that you just have a time. There's a time. There's nothing you can do to speed it up or push it away. There's nothing you can do. Because I think saying something like that or believing in something like that, it's an ungodly thing. Like, God has it set. You know, now, is the time going to be better or worse, depending on kind of how you ascertain or how you deal with it? Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it becomes cathartic in a negative way or a positive way, it's going to have like tremendous influence in, you know, who you are and what you end up doing, you know, with your track record.
I think there is a time for everything, like you said, but I do think that there is a concept of missed opportunity, meaning where if you are not at a place or a state that you are ready for your person, then that is something also, you know, like I feel like it is important to kind of like put your best self out there so that you know that you're ready, as opposed to just saying, where is he, where is she? I feel like people oftentimes are very much reflecting on this idea that I'm looking, but they don't, as corny as it sounds, they're not looking inward first.
Well, it's because they don't know how to. You know, simply said, they just don't know how to. Right? If you have just say, let's say you have, let's say you have, I was going to say anger, but let's say you have some issues in dating, okay? Now, who are you going to go to? You're going to go to the same people who will just kind of repeat, you know, the things you got to cross off, you know? Are you okay with your Yiddishkeit? Are you good with this? Are you good with that? Now,
the external, the things that people notice, as opposed to the things that
you don't know what is the reason for that. What is the reason for that? I was out with a few gentlemen the other night. I noticed two of them. You know, it was someone who came over from the opposite gender. And it could be 27 genders, so I'm not giving it away. And it's so they came over, yeah, and they liked this young lady, and they were kind of putting each other down, being a little self-sabotaging in a way. And I was saying, and I was thinking, because I'm not going to tell them, it's not my business. I'm not their coach, like Coach Hannah. I say, bro, you're putting this person down, self-sabotaging. Women sense that. They sense that. So where's that insecurity coming from, right? Now, if there's just us guys at the bar, I get it. But if you're in this, predicament like that. Anyway, like, where is it coming from? That's really where you have to figure it out. What's the best way to do that? There are multiple ways. The way I suggest people do it is put yourself in a situation like, you haven't been in before. Put yourself in a challenge. This way you could learn about yourself. Okay. That's probably number one. Number two, have more self-time, have more me time, spend more time with yourself, realize what you really like, adapt to, kind of respond to better, what you respond to worse. These are things this is the must. And this, by the way, is what married people don't have. Married people don't have this, and Coach Han, I'm not you're the exception, by the way, but feel free to get into a linguistic joust. But married people have this, and that they're not. So I don't know with partners how that kind of ends up, but vast Jewish community at large, they're gonna just kind of, oh hey, there's the single, let's go bother that guy, let's go bother that young lady. We'll invite them over for Shabbos, and we'll kind of excoriate them subliminally. Whew. Rosie,
I have no idea where you just went with that. I'm very confused.
We jumped from a couple.
Rosie, you don't say this on a podcast. Also, you have the index cards. That's not the response you're supposed to give.
I can't read. So
basically, I'm trying to allude to.
Say something important, especially this idea of getting to know yourself better. I think that this idea of like people going out in public by themselves, sitting by themselves, is unheard of. Like, people would never do that because it's uncomfortable. Like, you're never going to go get a coffee by yourself and just sit there. I think most people don't do that. I think it's important, though, to sit with yourself for a little bit and to get comfortable being by yourself, so that you're not reliant on somebody else for your happiness. And that's really when you can like find somebody so much faster, I think, sometimes, when you're not reliant or dependent upon somebody else for that happiness.
Well, when you're, something my brothers and sisters and singles can do is get in that car, blast the music, light up a little something for the millennials, for the Gen Zers, it's different, and have a good time, jam away. That is the scene for you to be in. That is the time when you can truly connect with yourself. In that car, blasting the music, go on the road. That's one way. I propose solutions. Not just point out the issues there. So
you are a problem solver today. Look at you.
I know.
Getting rid of the kiddish things. You getting everyone to know themselves better. Look at that.
Problems.
Well, Rosie, this is what happens when we stop hanging out.
Got it. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because we stopped hanging out, so now you're solving the world's problems. So
well, I took the opportunity. To kind of better myself. Wisely.
Good for you.
I have been. Yeah, it's been quite the ride, and it keeps on going, right? You discussed Mazal, Coach Hannah. So how do you discuss Mazal?
So I think it's actually interesting. It's this idea of Mazal in general, and how a lot of people feel that they do have a certain Mazal and they're inclined to certain things. And how you can be above your Mazal in terms of, certain negative aspects. and change it around. Certain things that I find the topic fascinating in general of the Mazal. I don't like to read into it too much because I feel like then you can get caught up in it, and then then you're not proactive about the things you actually need to take action on because you fall back on your Mazal. But I do find it very interesting.
Well, what's one or two, most imperative things that you like about it, or just most attractive things you like about Mazal?
I think it's an interesting concept in general, this idea that someone can be predisposed to certain things because of their Mazal. So, for example, if somebody's Mazal is that they're just not great with finances. So does that mean that they are not going to be successful all their life, or does that mean that they can work around it and, find other ways to be successful around this negative thing? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just what you're predisposed to versus what you can do to fix it, or in the positive way also. Let's say somebody is, has a Mazal for helping people, for giving them clarity. So, do they use that? Do they not use that? Do they tap into that? It's just an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, certainly I had my time where I kind of thought it was, the Mazal topic was dull, maybe dull, tedious. But there's a lot of character to it. There is a lot of character to Mazal, like you're saying, predetermined things. I am seeing that, financial Mazal, marriage Mazal, children Mazal. Yeah, a lot of these things are pretty much like, in essence, predetermined because, there's only so much control you're going to have over it. There really is,
On the though, because I do like to think positively, I do feel though that even if you're predisposed to something, if you like kind of counter it with something good, like I'm gonna do this good deed as a merit for to have this, or I'm gonna focus and maybe change this aspect of myself for the better as a merit for something. Like, I feel like if you have that mindset, I think that you can be above your Mazal if it's something that you feel there's negative there.
Well, as a whole, B'nai Yisrael, Klal Yisrael, hold the two, or Mamalim in a Mazal. So whatever Mazal you believe in it's a very complicated situation.
It is, but you can be like sucked into, your Mazal.
If you start believing that Mercury's in retrograde and your whole day is going to be, whatever it is, then you're in that mindset of it. So that's why sometimes you just have to not negate it, but kind of just not think about it. I think it's easier to not think about Mazal because it's very, very, very specific in a weird way, and also very vague in the other way. So you can kind of translate it however you want.
Right, I agree. Like, you can have somebody say, "Oh, you're going to have something very good happen to you today," and you're like, "I found a penny that's shiny, so that means that something good happens to me today." Or it's also, so really the truth is, like you said, Rosie, it is about mindset as well. Like, it's how you think about things and how you are viewing things in a positive or negative way.
And in a way of reality, and that's how I kind of blend the two, with Mazal and, like you're saying, the mentality of things where, I just I got a parking ticket the other day. I'm like, wow, I tried saving up this month, putting a little bit more, tucking a little bit more away in the 401k. That's a cool name of a podcast. And I got hit with a parking ticket, and I was like, oh man, it ain't happening this month. So kind of just realizing, all right, maybe I'm not going to have such financial Mazal. Maybe I'm not going to have such dating Mazal. Like, it kind of helps alleviate, certainly. I don't see it as a way out. I see it just as facing a reality. Hey, I'm not so good at this. I'm thinking about it.
Why does it translate into Mazal?
Let me work on it. Well, because it's how the Jewish community thinks, from community thinks, whatever kind of Haimisha, and they kind of they use it as as a word, as like a reference, an idiom in a way, maybe like, oh yeah, you have any mazel in this, you have any mazel in that. No, Chef, do you Rosie, do you live near Jews? You never see any of that?
Those are the people with the horns?
Oh, I see you have seen that movie Jojo Rabbit.
I do not watch any movies, but honestly,
get out of here. Come on. You watch movies. You do.
No, I think
I literally watched a movie and I was laughing because performance rate. They were just highly Hitlering people.
But do you watch TV? Do you watch anything?
I watch people take the Hillim all day. I watch my bank account. I'm very kosher.
So you watch things. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're keeping with the trends at least. Very, very subtle and low key. Makes us want to know more. Like, what do you do on your own time? Curious.
That's for your 401k podcast.
I did want to say one thing more on the Mazal before we go to the next topic. So it's funny. Years ago when like me and my friends jumped into shidduchim, it went great for a while, and then we were on the peak. We hit the valley. We tanked, and we just started looking at each other and saying, I think like one of us lost our jobs. It was before I lost my job at that time. At that time, my friend did. We all had different problems, and we really looked at each other and were like, we're the no mazel boys. We're the no mazel boys. And it gave us this feeling here, Hannah, you're coaching, there are certain psychological and emotional things that that are tied up in that, right? So it's a coping mechanism. It's a way to kind of feel like, hey, you know what, some things are just out of my control, and that's what people. That's the reference there. Say again, Rosie.
It's a good Kiddush club name, the No Mazel Boys.
Right, I know the no mazel boy. It's
almost like it's like the Jewish way of saying like the untouchable, like the no mazel boys. Like it doesn't affect us because we don't have mazel.
Right.
So it's fine.
Isn't it a great way? Yeah.
But
So,
I do think though that like it is, like you said though, at the end of the day, it comes down to your perspective. It's the way you think about things. You can either put a positive spin on really anything, or, you can bring yourself down with something.
it's very true. Very true. And I like to give the audience like real world perspectives on this, and that's why I'll pontificate, or I'll describe the, certain things, but, in this setting, whatever it was, like, this is, hey, we had elections the other night, right? It's all about the mindset. Let me go to the next topic here on the call list. No, what is the outline list?
Rolodex.
The Rolodex, yeah. Do the rabbanim really have any insight into whom you get married to? Okay, so I think we're still on seuglas here. And are kabbalists more accurate when predicting who you'll marry? Rosie, I'm sure, is a Kabbalist frequent goer. Tell us, can the Kabbalist heal?
Wow,
can they heal us?
So, wow, you got me there, man.
Have you ever been to one?
I have, and I hated every second
you
of it.
went? What did you not like about it? Like that you couldn't, that he didn't look at you?
No, actually, by the way, I went to, I don't even know if he has a couple of, I've been to a couple of them, but the one most recent I went to was 4 years ago, and it's just such an uncomfortable feeling. I don't understand why people like it, but I sat down there and he just started telling me facts about my life. Not good, not bad, but just facts. And it's just somebody can just look at you and start knowing things about you. It's just so uncomfortable. Yeah. And anything he told me, I was just I wasn't really receptive to it, not in a bad way, but I was just the whole time I was just okay, he started telling me who my best friend was. Why did he know her name? He started telling me about my aunt's cleaning lady. Why does he know her name? I don't know. The whole thing freaked me out. So then he started telling me that I was going to marry someone with a specific initial. And I was just I probably believe you because you told me everything else, but also why would I believe you? It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, it's very limiting. It's very limiting. It kind of pins you up against the wall, And that's a typical human response to it, where you want to feel like you have options. No, coach? Yes, coach?
It's also options, but also I didn't go in and ask him any questions, by the way. I just sat down there because I'm not one to, like, I'm fine with not knowing the answers to everything. I'm not looking for answers. So for you to come and start telling me things and telling me answers to questions I didn't question, it's not.
Right. I think that's where the idea of being limited comes in. If you were looking for answers on something and they were given to you, then it's very off-putting, because you, like you said, like, there's truth to it because he's telling you all these other things. You know that there's like that that power there, but it's very off-putting, because then you feel like you kind of have all this information that you didn't want to have in the first place.
Right. I didn't go in with a shaila. I didn't ask, is this the person I'm going to marry, or should I make this business decision? I just sat down there and he just started listing things about myself.
So, for curiosity standpoint, why did you go?
I got dragged there by somebody else who was not voluntary.
Involuntary Kabbalah meeting.
Yeah, and it happens to be that I was in Israel, obviously, because I feel like you can only do these things in Israel. And I went there for Shavuos this year. So the person that I went with last time, she's like, let's go back again. I'm like, never again. So
I have answers I didn't want.
Exactly. I'll pay for your taxi if you want to go, but I ain't going there.
Well, that's
so, IJ, have you ever been?
Oh, say again?
Have you ever been?
I have, yes. I have been to a kabbalist, one of these, holy men, holy men, or sometimes they're frauds, right? They could be. This one I went to was very holy. I may have mentioned it before. I was in the middle of work. Someone calls me up. He's like, "Hey, bro, you got to get to this and this spot. This Rebbe is here in town. You got to meet it." I'm like, nah. Then I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Truth of the matter was, it was like end of December anyway. I had like only a few limited days off. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll cash in on this. Had to. But anyway, see, look at me, like handling things with such levity. I ended up going. I went there. There was a lot of from guys, Jewish guys, a lot of married guys, a few single guys. Yeah, waited for a long time. I really had a lot of hope. My heart was in the right place. I was certainly someone who wanted to believe and wanted to get that spiritual uplifting and kind of be taken on this little unique journey that you really don't get. Anyway, I finally got to the rabbi's room. We obviously did things through a translator, and I realized I couldn't, like, I usually ingratiate myself in this situation. I use my charm, I use my flatter. It doesn't work there, and yeah, he said plenty of things that definitely related, a little futuristic in a way, prophetic, is the word, like prophetizing things. It was interesting. Certain profiting also, after the check. It was quite an experience. It certainly was the real deal. I'd go back. I'd probably go back now though. And I would grab the rabbi. I wouldn't care. I would grab him and I would be like, tell me the answers. Go to Shemayim and get the answers for me, because I need them now.
Why do you want to know
I'm
all the
not
answers?
waiting.
What answers do you want?
I have questions and I want. Yeah.
Should I have more questions?
Well, I'm at peace of mind now, which is something I'm working on. Takes time. It's not overnight. But yeah, no, there's certainly different traumas and things that have happened, maybe happening, going to happen, that I want to explore, and in the Umas Ha'olam, in the Goyish Zach, One way you do that, just off the cuff, one way you do that, for our psychedelic coterie, listening to the show, psychedelic experiences offer similar experiences to that, right? You kind of get that out of body experience. You use a shaman, right? You can get answers. They know how to read. I mean, there's signs to read this, right? Cousin Malcolm was here on this. He tell you there are ways to read facial expressions. There are ways to read hands. There are ways that it's not just all being a prophet, a nasi. It's not just that. The Indian matchmaking game that was up the Indian matchmaking game. Right, they tell the Indian Americans, they said, come to India, we have to interview you, and then they don't bring them there, they just take the picture and they bring the picture to the face reader. They call him like a face reader. They have a whole name in India, like Omar, and they give him and this guy just reads the faces, and like it's exactly how they are, because this is something that people can do. Hannah, read my face now. What do you think? It's a
little difficult only because, I'm reading so much and getting so much information at once. It's a little bit hard to just put one thing out there. But I will say that I think one of the questions you wanted answered by these kabbalists are who let the dogs out, and I feel like everyone's been wondering that since the late 90s.
But it's a very good point that you're making there. But like again, if you have a specific question, then like fine. But like sometimes people also try to do you a favor and ask questions for you that you didn't really want answered. So let's say, I don't know if anyone knows, but I'm single. IJ, don't tell anybody. And I'm single, so I'm fine with it. But someone once went to ask, why am I single? I'm sorry, I didn't know that he was going to answer the question. I don't have a question as to why I'm single. Like maybe I have a question as like, how long am I going to be single, but not why. Right, and then so while they were there, they called me, and he was like saying things, and they were translating. Debbie, did you ever do something at work to hurt someone else's feelings? They're like, so now I have to think back for the past 120 years that I've been working or in school, or if I hurt someone's feelings in general. So now you're leading me down a path of like regret that I didn't even know I did. So I have to it's just like, I was like, I didn't ask you to do this for me. So like, let's not. And also, have I ever hurt someone's feeling in my life? Yes. The answer is yes. So now what should I do? Should I go to every single person I've ever seen or spoke to? Like, it was just so...
Well, Rosie, if you're going to go to a Kabbalist, it's inextricable. They're going to bring these things up. Bring up a boundary. See, there's the thing there. You sound like a strong-minded person who's going to stand up for what she believes in. Kudos, good for you. I like that. But here you kind of failed yourself because you did tell the rabbi, that's not what I came to hear. Don't tell me that.
I didn't go to hear anything. Someone was doing me a favor.
Well, look, you were in that situation. Maybe, look, if it obviously happened, we were younger, these things, they happen. You have to accept it, forgive yourself in a sense. But hello, next time you go, just tell the guy, that's not what I came to hear. Let's get to business here. Let's get to the real stuff, okay? Tell me this.
Should we do a podcast in a Kabbalah waiting room? First of all, we could interview everybody there what their experience was, and then we'll go in together and see what's going on.
We should do like a live one, Yeah, when we get 100,000 listeners, we already have.
Like the backstage, like American Idol, like they have like the interviews afterwards.
Yeah,
and, like talking to the singers. Like you guys are there, just like talking to everybody after. So how did you feel when you were in there? Did he tell you things you didn't want to hear? Do you know now the answers why you're not married? Do you want to know why, you're
why you're horrible at everything in life? Tell us. Do you feel better now about yourself?
But Rosie, it's funny because what you were saying about like, did you hurt somebody or this or that? I would personally find that very overwhelming, and I would try to look forward as much as possible instead of backwards and be like, maybe I did hurt somebody, but at the end of the day, like the only way that I can move forward is to be more careful and to other people's feelings or more sensitive to other people's feelings. Like I can't.
Yeah, and it was a very also by the way, it was pretty specific. It wasn't hurt somebody. I should actually clarify. Did you ever take someone else's
lunch?
No, yeah, lunch. That's what I do. I sit in the fridge and I steal people's lunches. That's promotion. And I was like, how am I supposed to know if someone else is supposed to get a promotion if I got a promotion?
Oh, wow, that's very specific. That's a very interesting thing. I mean, I don't feel like you have control over that.
Right. I mean, I could tell you straight up, I personally know that I've never gone behind someone's back and stolen a promotion. But if my boss decided to give me one over somebody else, like, how's that anything to do with me? So it's a very weird feeling.
Well, it is very, especially because it's something that you can't control. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's obfuscate for just a moment here. So tell us about this promotion. Was it worth it in the end?
No, I don't know which one it was, though.
Check her 401k. Rosie, how's your 401k doing?
Apparently IJ's in charge of it. IJ, are we doing well?
Well, since the elections, it has gone down.
Yes.
Which election? You should specify.
Which one? The last two. Okay, so I had so many things I wanted to comment on yours, well, I'll tell people out there, if you're going to, kabbalist or a rav like this, don't be afraid to push back and ask, like, what do you mean? Like, the guy will answer you. It's there. One of my most interesting, like, kabbalistic I guess stories that I kind of came across is like when Rabbi Wallerstein went several years ago to like a big kabbalist. I feel like I'm saying English words, right? Kabbalist.
Yeah.
A kabbalist. What's a makubal? That's it. A makubal.
Yeah, that's I know. It's like a hard word to say. I'm thinking how to pronounce it.
Makubal there. Okay,
yeah.
A makubal.
You got it.
You go to a makubal and yeah, he sent in some video. Maybe we'll post it. And he was saying that he like before he passed away, like 2 or 3 years. And I remember Rabbi Wallerstein of blessed memory used to have a certain tone with singles, the Jewish community, etc. And he's spoken about it. And he went to this kabbalist, and there's a whole thing on YouTube, where he's, the video is, and yeah, he's saying that he wanted to know specifics, and he told him, and he said, he says, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, this is what I need to hear. And he got his answers. So we got to learn from him. He was
a very powerful person. So for the regular folk who go there, just prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, people who don't yell back.
Do you know who he went to?
Do I know who he went to?
Oh, I don't
know. Talk about Rabbi Wallerstein himself.
Did you see the video? Oh, he was. Yeah, it was awesome, dude. He was an awesome bro, surfer style. Yeah.
Who did he go to?
I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. Anyway.
Oh.
No,
okay.
I'm kidding. Hannah, I would tell you. All right. So, let's get over to the next one. So, okay, so let's kind of placate on what you're mentioning, Rosie. The bracha doesn't work. Now what?
Never had that happen. Every bracha has come into
Every bracha? Stop it. No, it's
I'm just a very blessed person. I don't know what to tell you.
I feel like
blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Hello, can I just tell you? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. It's funny that people can use the word blessed in such different ways, like the hashtag blessed, or it's like, oh, bless her, and then they say something negative. Oh, bless her heart, but she.
Bless her heart. Yeah. Well, that's an idiom. That's kind of like trends.
Yeah. With all due respect, and now I'm going to say something very disrespectful.
Respectively, as I've been learning on my Goyish online dating class, which I've been taking. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we need to hear more about this, please.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I've been I decided to mix things up, make it happen. I don't know. A few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I want to kind of jump back in a little bit of the shidduch game. Message the shadchan. Never heard back from the shadchan. I was like, all disgruntled
Rejection
and
from
stuff.
there also. Wow.
Everywhere I go. Anyway, so that probably just had this domino effect of me trying to think, what can I do now? What haven't I tried? Because that's what I was, to piggyback on what I was saying earlier. What have I not tried? What have I not done that maybe I can try now? Because if something's working, and I remember Hannah said this on the show, one of the first appearances, definition of insanity, Hannah, is?
Yes. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah, absolutely. That is insanity. It's not, let me tell you, it's not supposed to be that difficult. It's not. If you're playing sports, different situation, okay. But it's not supposed to work like that. Things should click. And I guess that's just in my, my opine
You're
view.
saying that we're complete failures, you and I?
That just makes sense. Anyway, I obfuscated from what I wanted to say, and where was I? What was the question put forward here?
Well, we want to bless.
No, but
I'm
I
blessed.
want to hear more about this dating.
Yeah. By the way,
seminar.
Yes. Oh, it's really good. Coach Hunter, he's the man. This guy. So I'm in his class, and we meet on Zoom. I got a support group. I'm there. I got Devon in the class. I've got Jackson in the class. Like, this is a legit group. They really teach.
Is it only for men?
Is it only? Yeah, no women allowed. No, they're literally like, no women allowed. Unless you want, I guess, pick up other women. So then it would be okay, I guess.
Sounds very religious and anonymous.
I told you it's not religious. Like, look.
I know that's why I was saying the irony of it. So can you give us one of the gems? Can you give us like a gem of knowledge?
I will, and I'm actually going to discuss it a little bit more in the next podcast we do with Jackie Glasser.
Ooh, a teaser.
What?
If you're giving us like a little teaser.
Yeah, a little teaser. Yeah, she's coming. Do you want to come record? She's come Sunday to the Five Towns, 10 a.m. Any of you two interested? Okay, you'll get back to me. Okay. Well, we're doing the up. So I'll tell you one thing. One thing she was mentioning, and I'm going to discuss with her. I'm going to ask her on the podcast. Showing interest in other people's interests. So in this class, I actually learned that women don't find it attractive to find interest in all of their interests. Pick one that you can relate to, sound smarter, sound better, and actually just basically know what you're talking about. That's going to be the recipe for success. That's what's going to get you through. Guys are different. Guys are just like, yeah, you like that. I'm like, no, cool, you're my bro. We bro it out. And bam, you walk away a happy man. A lot of older single guys, mostly guys. Not, guys who are like pickup artist kind of guys. It's not the case. Wow, right? Wasn't it, Hannah? What do you think? Good stuff.
I think it's very interesting. I will throw in something though that what I forgot which book I read this in, but there was this concept that people can have absolutely nothing in common in terms of just like basic things that they like to do, but if they have the same goals and the same outlook and like what they want for their future and their family and things like that can still sustain a relationship even if you have completely diverse hobbies that you don't have that that they're not similar in terms of like the basics.
I love that you mentioned that, and that to me it's just one area that like a lot of dating coaches and shadchanim and mommies kind of miss. We're not here to like get coaching on how to be in a relationship. We're not. That singles should not be doing that yet. What you need to do is learn how to pick them up, learn how to pick her up, learn how to pick them up, aka learn how to like try to get them, keep them. The beginning is where we need more help here, aside from the fact that there's just nowhere to meet. There's just nowhere to meet, and that's a whole other separate conversation. Rosie, am I right here on that? Again, to obfuscate? Yes?
Yeah.
There's just no. There's just
I'm
nowhere.
literally flabbergasted that you guys think that you have to have the same interests that we do. Like, why would you think that?
I think it's a way to find common ground, and it's a way to create conversation, which propels things and helps the date itself. That's why I think maybe that's where that comes from. But I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, IJ. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm not thinking that at all. I certainly hear your points, and I think it's so true. I think we just did an episode on zodiac signs, and yeah, there are a lot of different zodiac signs. That if you fall under that category, you're going to be that. You're going to blend well with person of your same zodiac sign. Like someone that we looked into it last episode. And the zodiac sign said that I was not compatible with my zodiac sign. Like it will never work. So, breaking it down is a huge thing. And, us singles have X amount of time, X as in like a certain amount of time on our hands. And yeah, like we can look into this stuff, meditation, zodiac signs, all that stuff that probably Rosie, Hannah, and I grew up where our parents and uncles and aunts were like, that's crazy hippie stuff. We don't do that. It's Gaya Shazach. Right?
I would read like Us Weekly as a kid, and like the last pages always had, they still do. They have like, the sign, they like the small generic thing, like, oh, this week you're going to have an amazing success somewhere, like something very vague, not that I would believe it, but it was fun to read it anyway.
That was it. Yeah, I know. So many things, but Rosie was saying, right. Okay. Rosie was saying, yeah, no, very keen insight, Rosie. Here's what you got to do on that. Yeah. I think that's, I think when you're in a relationship, certainly, what Hannah was saying with having to, you have like, are you kind of meeting on the same interests right now, or is it more about the long-term goal? And that's like the shidduch system, because, your short game and your long-term goal are all in sync, because you're going to make the marriage work. You're trying to find someone you're willing to make it work with, and we're going to commit. And that becomes like the factor there. That's the variable. But when we're talking about people who, from guys, from girls, whatever the parlance is, the people who kind of, the 40% who doesn't work out for, what are they going to do? Well, here's what they can do. And I will tell them that the next, like right now, the thing to do is just like figure out how, don't worry about keeping the relationship and being in the relationship and all that. What's it good for if you can't just attract them? You can't reel them in. Okay. Imagine me throwing a fishing hook and I'm reeling them in. Okay. How do you reel them in?
So can I ask maybe too much of a personal question?
You could go ahead. My life is an open book.
Okay.
How much money do you make?
Different books, Chevy. Rosie. Different books. So why? And this is more of like a guys in general, because I'm interested in picking your brain here.
Go ahead.
Why do you think that you have to reel them in? Meaning, why isn't it just you presenting your personality and seeing what jives with your personality?
Great question. So there's two answers to that. I know I jumped in because I don't want to forget it. That's how us ADHD people are. It's nothing to do with us being, was it not masochist, misogynistic. So the first thing is on literally what you were saying before. See, I just forgot both of them. Okay, so I'm going to go with the main one. I was right there. Okay, hey, you know what? You got to know yourself. Us ADHD.
Know your strengths and weaknesses, and I'm glad you know what your
exactly.
Know your Mazal.
Well, we can throw that in as one of them. Like one of them is that the fact that you are 22, 25, 30, 35, whatever age it is, and you're like actually realizing I am not good at picking up women. I am not good at keeping a guy. That's your first problem. And it's not going to be resolved with trying to kind of placate or just agree upon and try to find like false things that may be, getting you into the relationship. The next thing, which is the biggest of it all, is women seek to say no to the match. They seek no. And guys don't know how to answer. Why do guys don't know how to answer it? Because they don't know how to talk to. I didn't know how to talk to women. You have to learn how to talk to them. Okay, we're very used to.
Well, we don't learn how to talk to you. So why are you more at a disadvantage than we are?
Because they have to. I think they are, because at the end of the day, girls follow the guy's lead. So whatever the guy decides they want to talk about or bring up or get into, the girls follow. So it's really, it is a lot of pressure.
If you learn, if it's a lot of pressure on the guy, and if you learn how to work them, you can break down that wall. That wall is up on the side. It's about the reacher and the grabber. Okay, what is a reacher and the grabber? The reacher is going to be someone who has less power. The reacher and the ladder, right? Anyway, so the reacher and the ladder, right? The ladder is the one who has more of the power, 51% or more. Okay, in almost all those situations and cases, that's the women. Always, women start out with the power. It's all about the power grab. If you're at 49% and you're grabbing some of that power away, then you're winning. Then you're at success. So what does that look like? That looks like, let's say you're at a shidduch event and there are a lot of girls there. You know what's going to happen. This girl's going to like, every girl's going to like this one guy, okay? You're coming over and she has the power because she's not really interested in you, okay? You got to figure out how to grab that power, aka the attention, aka throw in a throw a curveball in to get them to waken them up in a sense. Okay, 80% of dating apps. It's an 80-20 rule in dating apps. Okay, we're talking about JSwipe, JDate, all of them. 80% of women, okay, are successful on dating apps. 20% of men are successful. That means 80% of men are not. It's literally it's insane how it flips.
That's crazy.
So if you're a girl and you have all these resumes and all these guys, etc., like you have an option. You have options. So you have to go in and do things differently. You can't just say, "Hey, what's up?" You gotta figure out a game plan, and you can today by signing up for Coach IJ's Pickup Artist class. Just go to shidduchpodcast.com/get a date, and I will teach you today. Coach Hannah, will you be joining us on there?
Promo code.
Promo code LOVE, LOVE. Am I making
Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Hannah, am I making sense? Like, I want you to push back if you be like, no, you got this wrong, son. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I usually talk like that. I jump right into that.
It's a very interesting facts that you're bringing up, and I totally hear it, but you have to realize that Jewish boys are different.
Yes, the game is definitely different
right.
with
I think the
Jews.
Game is different. Yeah, it's different. But I also, you said something before, which I wanted to just go back on. You said that you have to pick something pick one thing that the girl is interested in and then learn up about it and that type of thing. I feel like that's very much playing the game and not really authentic when it comes to actually getting to know somebody. Meaning, if you're actually interested in it, pick something that you actually would technically be interested in and then learn more about it. Don't pick something that you're picking out of a hat, because that's not really going to help you. It's not coming from a authentic place then.
Well, how is that working for the disgruntled shidduch dater at whatever age, right? It's not, it hasn't worked. So you need a new strategy. Do this before you get burnt out. Simple. Now, why do it? Well, you want to do it because it is the psychology. It is the psychology of the woman. It's the psychology of the man. The man wants to chase. The woman wants to be chased. You have to know, what to say, what to pick on, and what not to say also, right? That's a big thing. So you're saying that it's not as it's not. You're saying
than what to say.
You're saying you're saying it's not as authentic. Well, authenticity isn't what is happening in the beginning, right? Like when you met your husband, you know, he didn't say, hey, hi, my name is so and so, here are all my problems, this is my life, right? That's like authentic, you know, that's one part of it. So there's the authenticity, and now you have to like bring the wall down. The key is that you have to bring the wall down, and the girl has to do this for the guy. Also, the girl, you know, but the girl knows how to. Woman knows how to do it. Obviously, there's physical touch was a big thing, but from community we don't have that. So they're spending time. There are other signs of the, you know, the way or the 5 love languages. There are other ways to do that. Okay, but again, this is the psychology.
And I hear you, but what I'm saying is, why not play up your strengths and bring out those parts of your personality that you know are positive and that would be attractive to somebody else, as opposed to looking for things that you're pulling out of a hat? Why not like play out the things that you know are good about you?
Sure. I mean, those are certainly, you should certainly do that. You should certainly do that. It's not something you should shone away on. But there is, again, there's the wall up that you have to get through. You know, the girls are going to, there's a word for it. It's a curse word. So I'm trying to think here. We don't want to get a bad rating here.
Spell it out.
Crap testing. Okay. They crap test you, right? They crap test you. That's the kosher word. They crap test you. Women crap test you. They're going to bait you. They're going to try to get you into it. They're gonna try to like get the spill. They want you to spill the tea.
I don't know that.
Maybe this coaching is not working for you so well.
As calculating, but I will tell you something funny just on what you're saying. Like I one time had a guy that I went out with tell me that, oh, I said that I like sushi because I knew that you like sushi. I don't really like sushi. So was that something?
Wow, how inauthentic of him. Whoa, what did you do?
Yeah, and it's not something major, but it's weird. And also, if you're gonna do that, what else are you comfortably
lying about?
Like, you know, not completely say the truth on it. It's just an interesting thing to think about. I just feel like, why not look for your strengths and see what you know you could be good at or enhance as part of your personality, and play that up. I think women in general gravitate towards confidence.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to like the things that we're liking. I just think you have to not negate it. I'm never looking for someone who has the same hobbies as me. That's actually weird, and I don't want. Right. I just think you have to be respectful of the fact that I like to knit when it's raining on a Tuesday, and then we move on.
Yeah, be supportive of that, and maybe, you know, ask for some socks or knitted socks, but you don't have to love knitting.
Yeah. Well, Chana, it sounds like you definitely have some remorse or contrition for that guy with the sushi. Okay, so you're in a safe place.
I know. I feel bad. I honestly, at the time, I thought it was cute that was happening. Like that
cute, right?
Thoughtful, I guess. But like, also, it was just like, why not be yourself?
That's what we think at that age. We go,
it was a long time ago.
It was very long. It was several children ago, and you know, kiddish clubs ago.
Sounds very old. Yeah.
What Rosie was saying here about commonalities. Yes, I mean, once you get to that point that you're in a relationship, you have her or you have him. You know, at that point, yes. On a
first date, also on a first date too. Why do you have to have?
Yes. You don't have to know. You don't. Right, for sure. You definitely don't need any commonality. That's why I've been proposing as well, promulgating as well in addition to the kiddish reform, shul kiddish reform. I'm also been also pushing. Because I want Klal Yisrael to get married. I want them to get married. Well, I want everyone to be in a nice relationship. Marriage is a whole thing, you know. But you know, I don't like the that term, you know, like this idiom. Would you get married? Met Hashem, the right time. But here's what I'm promulgating, as you were saying, okay? You got to stop doing the action dates, stop doing the food dates, start doing viewing dates, okay? Viewing dates are big. I give it another term on another episode. You know,
what is a viewing date?
Right.
I like food. Can you not take away food from me?
What is a viewing date? It's a great question, okay? So when you go out to eat, it's all about, you and her. You need a little bit of a buffer in order to be yourself. It is an uncomfortable situation. Hell, when you're with your friends and family, it could be sometimes uncomfortable. When you're at work, like one-on-one, it could get uncomfortable unless you're with, that best friend, right? Your best friend, a good friend. So there's that side to it, all right, on that kind of date. On the other side of the date, you're doing an action. There's an action date, right? So you're going archery shooting, you're going bowling, you're doing something, but all the focus is on the bowling and on the archery and on the action.
Are you just trying to bring back lounge dates?
No, not at all. What we need to do.
Come down there and murder you. I will literally come down.
Very
and
bad.
You.
No.
At least if I have to date, then give me food.
It's very bad.
Don't pull back on your feelings there. Tell us how you really feel.
And guys will tell you it's boring for them, okay? And for girls will tell you it's a lot for them. They're wearing their heels, they're all dressed up, they don't want to sweat, right? Women, I'm defending you here. I'm your champ. I'm like Hillary over here. Now, what do you need? What is an action date? A viewing date, right? A viewing date. Go to an art gallery, look at art. Keep the focus on something else so you can see. And
so it's still an action date, but you're saying not a physically
task
thing. That's a physical. That's an action date. You're physically doing something. It's taking away.
Painting.
Hello?
How about painting?
No, painting, same thing. Painting is you're throwing all your focus into the painting. We are really not able to focus on, the date itself, in like a passive way. Viewing dates are the best, okay?
How about a viewing movie date? We could view the movie, and then we can talk about it.
I think it's great. I think movies can, movies are interesting. It could certainly fill into that character, but I would say no on the movies because, first of all, from Jews aren't going to go to a movie on the first date or second date.
What about?
Sorry, guys, I forgot that I don't watch anything. I have to go back into character.
You are provoking when you go to an art gallery. You're provoking thought. And it's about creativity, uniqueness. You're showing a lot of your cards and your skills, and it makes people more attracted to one another. What did you think about that painting? Oh, I didn't. It did bring that out. Interesting thoughts there, right? It's provoking.
Honestly, if somebody took me to a museum on the first day, I'd be very weirded out. I'd be like, so you think you're better than me? Got it.
Well, if you go to the Museum of, Natural History, that's what's going to happen there,
We're like the Liberty Science Center, Rosie, if you want to like a little more low-key, a little more like elementary school trip.
There is a fly museum pretty close by. If anyone wants to date me, you can take me there.
I do like this idea, though. I do like this idea about doing dates that are more thought-provoking.
Yes. Ooh, thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I'm trying to build a list of a few other things, but right now, really, for the first date, that's all I can get. I've gone down the list. I'm trying to pick different places, and the art gallery really is the only thing that's going to do it. Again, you go out to eat. There's are you Dutching it, splitting it? Is she going to eat? Is he going to eat? The guy has to pay a lot of money. It's inflation. Guys are trying to say, it costs, you can go on a first date. It's $100. I went on a first date 2 weeks ago. It cost me $100 and she fled before benching. So this is,
bencher? I'm just curious.
She took the bencher. Yes.
Oh, she didn't have a bench as a bencher.
She took the bencher. Yep. No. I didn't see it coming. What can I tell you?
I think that another good idea would be to listen to a podcast. Pretty thought provoking.
Yeah. That's what it's here for. We're all in it together. As they say in the song.
Yeah.
Okay, going to kevarim. I think we like pretty much covered everything here. Difference between short-term and long-term segulas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shir hashirim, nishmat, kolchai. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff here.
There's a lot of segulas. A lot of segulas.
One thing that I do want to mention, since we're going back to it, I do think that if people only put their heart into the segula itself, it can be very disheartening if it doesn't come to fruition, right? Like you say nishmas and things like that, and nothing happens after 40 days. I think that's very hard, and it takes a hit to your emunah. I think that taking action, let's say, and, you know, like I was saying before, maybe like doing good deeds as a merit for something else, you know that even if it didn't work out exactly as you had hoped, at the end of the day, you're still left doing a good deed. So you're not left empty-handed. I feel like it's a little bit more, you walk away with something.
You feel like you got something out of it anyway.
Exactly. I feel like just doing segulos, it can be a little disheartening.
Right. Like, yeah, like mutually exclusive in a sense, you know. Yeah, if people can do that, it's tough to separate. It certainly is. You know, you want reward. You're taking on something. Blind faith is tough.
Instant. And also, people want instant reward, instant gratification.
Yeah, I know.
Instant coffee.
Oh man, I'm on like 3 cups a day now. It's rising. It's not. I mean, I'm enjoying it though. I really am. I'm like, yeah, I'm a 3 cup a day coffee kind of guy. I'm loving it.
3 cups.
No? Yeah.
Maybe you should bring that up on dates. See how that plays out.
Yeah. 3 cups. I don't know.
Is that a segula for something?
It's a segula.
Yeah, it's a chazaka. It's a chazaka
yes.
also.
Wait, what's the difference over here? Chazaka? Like,
it's a segula for going to the bathroom a lot, and it's a chazaka for continuing to spend your money on those items that you need.
Adorable. Oh my God.
No, worked hard on that one.
I love that. That's like our new promo. That's a new promo right there. Should we stop giving money to these people who are giving us false beliefs, false blessings? Look, during the inflation, you know, this is what you got to do. You got to make cuts, you know.
And you already give double Meister, so there's nothing left.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, bro. I
have to look into this. By the way, I'll let you know next time we talk.
I know this double Meister thing. I'm intrigued.
Have you ever heard of it?
I feel like I've vaguely heard of it. Yeah, but like
I felt like Meister was so like specific, like. Give 10%, no more, no less. You're not supposed to give more than Meister because it's Meister.
Like ribbon?
No, it's not ribbon because ribbon is when you borrow money. Meister is just giving away money, but you're not supposed to give your whole entire.
It's not really. It's not really heard so much. It's not so like common because it happens for older bachrim who are like who are like working and in yeshiva, so they're making like they don't have any expenses, like so they can give money. So that's how I know of it. And that's how it was approached to me. And then certainly, you know, you can fast forward like
who approaches you, a collector or someone who's just giving you good advice?
Well, usually what happens, and to be as brash as possible, usually like in every like yeshiva bacher class, especially the older bachrim, there's one that's like, you know, little like let's say Aspergery but like making a lot of money, and like he just can't make these grown up decisions, you know, especially there in yeshiva and stuff, you know. So like he'll go to the rush, and the rush will be like, oh, maybe, you know, chaimesh, let's do chaimesh. What's chaimesh? I never heard of it. Then he starts learning about it, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna do chaimesh. So and then he'll, you know, then he leaks to one guy, and then that one guy leaks, and then before you know it, the whole base medrash knows it. But that's literally how it happens. Right. But that's why, like, you wouldn't know, right? Like Hannah, like married people, you know, they get like, let's say you get married younger, normal age. You're not going to know because it's not expressed in yeshiva. Like a young yeshiva bacher gets, like the rabbi's not going to go over and be like, let's chaimesh this right now, let's go. Makes sense.
I'll tell you all the girls' segulas. How about this?
Yeah, what else you got
the
for
one
the girls?
everybody
Like our
knows.
last
Yeah,
few minutes here,
obviously.
tell me.
You say Nishma 700,000 times, 40 days in a row. Light candles. 8 million candles. Whenever you can go. Go to the river to Rebbe, light candles. Go to the Rabbi to light candles. Buy a vart dress. Buy 16 vart dresses because you're ready to wear your vart dress at someone else's wedding. Then you know what you should do? You should buy a becher because you need a becher for your husband. You know what you should do? You already have a becher? I heard you buy a talus. Oh, do I have a talus and a becher? Yes, I do. I don't know how fat you are or skinny you are, but don't worry. I got you covered. You know what you should do? Maybe we should just bypass it already. You should start the sheitel. You know how long the sheitel takes? Buy the sheitel. You have the sheitel. You get married. Now we're going to move on to baby strollers because you're already married and we want to have the stroller. It goes on and on. It doesn't stop, by the way.
Do you ever go to work wearing the talus and the sheitel and the knitted
While
socks?
making kiddush? No, I already have the tefillin from my bashert, so I'm putting tefillin on.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems like everything's working.
Yeah, I got it covered.
Oh my god, I love that. Oh wow, that was a great spiel. It was like a little mantra there. Wow, we should have opened with that, Rosie.
Okay, yeah, I could.
Rosie,
I could re-record.
We can. We technically can.
You know what was a big one at one point? Please tell me you did this one time. Supposed to wash and bench 7 times. Erev Yom Kippur.
Yeah, I heard that one.
The night before. You ought to start like Shia the night before. Literally, by the time you come into Yom Kippur, you cannot breathe.
I want to know, Rosie, if you ever done any segula that you really wouldn't have, but decided to do anyways, and that was like very out there.
Yeah, every single one that I just mentioned.
With the talus and
Every single one.
And the becher.
Hannah, how about you? I want to put that question on you. Like, did you do any segulas in order to get married?
I really didn't. As corny and as basic as it sounds, I just davened.
She just got married, IJ.
It happened.
No, I davened.
Marriage Mazal. Marriage Mazal. Like, that's what I said.
Worked on myself.
Well, that's good that you worked on yourself. I wouldn't like, it's people could work on themselves. It's great. But like, that's where the Mazal thing kind of comes in, being mutually exclusive. Like, just because you got married, like worked on yourself doesn't mean you're going to get married. Like, look at, every other single out there. Like, just because people are single doesn't mean that they're not working on themselves or trying to do things. That's where the Mazal thing comes in, where, hey, it's no marriage Mazal. That's all. Do I have financial Mazal? Yeah. Do I have mental health Mazal? Yes. I'm not saying I got none of that. I'm just saying, just for me.
But don't get stuck in your marriage Mazal. Go above your marriage Mazal.
What about the ayin haras lady in Israel?
I didn't hear about the ayin haras.
No, I don't know.
So you go to her and like she looks at you and then she like I've never been to her, so please don't quote me unless anyone who's been there. I'm apologizing if I'm screwing this up. But like something she like boils water and like makes you drink something and you get rid of all your ayin haras.
I believe it. Like,
maybe you drink it, maybe you pour it out. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Literally, guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. There's something about the fact that you get rid of your ayin haras.
You're literally watching an episode of The Twilight Zone, and you're just like saying, "Hey, this is a segula."
No, I know there's a lady in Israel, and I know she deals with ayin haras. Oh, it's that. Yeah.
Here's a segula. Here's a segula. You women can do. You ready? Yeah. You women, ready? Stop getting your nails done on Shabbat on Friday. And avoid lashon hara at the nail salon. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
I think everyone should avoid lashon hara. I'll be honest with you. I'm a big.
There would be less lashon hara.
I don't go to a Jewish one. I talk lashon hara with my manicures every single week.
Are the manicures like still a thing? I know, because I would always give a lot of credit. I would like when I go on dates with girls. And they have the manicure. Yeah, I would just be like, I'm like, great job on the nails. Great job. I'm like,
let's get something very, very straight right now. I don't get a manicure for you. I get a manicure for me. So I don't know what do you mean it's still a thing. I'm not getting my nails done because I'm going to meet a guy. I'm getting my nails done because I enjoy it and I like it the way it looks for me.
I personally enjoy getting my nails done, but I like the after.
Look, just brace yourself. That's really all I can say in our last few minutes here. But just brace yourself because, you know, you're going to start seeing on male shidduch resumes. You're going to see going, you know, as occupation just in the next year or 2 or 3. It's going to say hair and makeup artist. Be aware.
Aficionado?
No, like they're actually like their occupation, like they do it. Anyway, okay. So I think that's enough. We have like an hour and a half here. So appreciate you two ladies coming on the show. Okay, Rosie, people can follow you by getting in touch with your assistant Avery, right?
Please?
Avery. And Hannah, people can follow you. Go ahead.
Yes, they can follow me on Instagram at Hannah Kahana Coaching. And they can also do a segula, and I'll just be there.
Appear. Okay, yes. Well, thank you so much. And as I end off, happy face, smiley face, silly face, this is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. Wow, what a great show, ladies, huh? Okay, yeah.